Hello, Stephan here with Liquidity. It seems that today it is easier than ever before to learn another language. However, the same principles that have applied in the past still hold true today. So here are my top 7 tips on how to learn another language. Liquidity. Number 1, be patient with yourself. Learning another language is a lot of work and it takes a long time to really even become semi-fluent in another language, to really immerse yourself and to pick up on enough of the language to be able to communicate and to have a conversation with somebody and to understand when people talk with you. It comes eventually. Don't give up. Don't give up if it doesn't happen right away. Number 2, pace yourself. Do a little bit very often. It's very easy to get frustrated if you try to cram just with anything that you learn. Just take your time, pace yourself, break it up, batch it out into manageable little steps, and do a little bit very often, maybe several times a day if you can, but don't stress about it. Which brings me to the next point, number 3, have fun with it. When you learn a new skill, and that's definitely true for language learning, if you acquire a new skill and your brain rewards you for it because you're actually enjoying it, because you're actually having fun, your brain rewards you with a little shot of dopamine. And then your brain associates that joy, that little chemical in your brain, that natural chemical in your brain, with language learning. And that makes it all the more interesting and all the more fun and all the more engaging for you to continue. So try to have fun. Some ways to get started with that would be maybe some music in the original language, in the target language, watch some video clips. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Obviously, a lot of times when people sing a language, it becomes a little mumbled. Also, some TV commercials in the other language. Maybe there's some YouTube videos about some funny TV commercials in the other language. Work really well. Those are really good ways to get started. Number 4, practice pronouncing new words and do that out loud. And don't feel silly about it. Don't be ashamed about it. Put yourself in front of a mirror. Try sounding out new sounds, and then do not be surprised if your facial muscles start to hurt, because you will use muscles that you have maybe never or certainly rarely ever used before, because other languages use different sounds that are produced by different muscles in your face that most likely you will have rarely or not very often used before. Number 5, take inventory of things that go well and things that are a little bit more challenging. Write things out, make a list of, maybe make 3 charts, things that are going really well, things that are in between, and then things that are really challenging that you have problem with. A lot of people struggle with grammar, for instance. Be specific which grammar issues you struggle with. That may seem counterproductive, but it actually it's a really good mental exercise to do that, to take inventory and to know yourself, to see like, where am I going, how much am I improving, what things do I need to work on, or what things do I need help with. Find learning partners. Now, by learning partners, I mean anybody that will help you learn the language. That can even be a student, because ironically, the best way to learn something is actually to teach somebody else. So if you have a learning partner who you teach certain things that they struggle with, and maybe they are really good at some other things that they can help you with, or maybe you actually help each other with learning another language, then that is ideal. And now that we live in the digital age, you can also have FaceTime partners, right? Or Zoom partners. That brings me to the last and maybe the most important point, and that is number 7. Immerse yourself. Immerse yourself in the sense of surrounding yourself with the other language. Obviously, the easiest way would be to travel to a place where only that language is spoken, and then to make yourself listen and speak only that language. That would be perfect immersion. And that works really well if you already know the language a little bit, if you have a pretty good background, pretty good basis for it. But there are many other different ways that you can immerse yourself with, especially this day and age. You watch movies, if you watch TV shows that are in the other language. And at first I would encourage you actually to keep the captions on so you can compare what the translation is with what is being said, and then try to pick up new words that way. Ideally write down some words that are new to you, or at least try to remember them so you can add them to your inventory list, right? Surround yourself with people in real time if possible. Maybe if there is a place where the language is spoken that is accessible to you, maybe within your own country or a neighboring country. For instance, in North America, if you want to learn French, even though French Canadian is a little bit different from the French that's spoken in France, it's still French and it's still spelled the same way, and it's still similar enough to help you learn a variety, one of several varieties that exist in the French language, right? Or for instance, if you want to learn Spanish, maybe there are some communities where Spanish is spoken primarily. See how the language is used in the real world, in real time, and just be around people. You know, it really can be also a lot of fun. This concludes Stephan's top 7 tips on learning another language.